Okay, just back on the rear and the torque solution bracket that goes for the STI caliper. This. Lining the bolt holes up. So you're going to want to take, if you got the same kit, the shorties with a washer and the H6 impact Allen. Thread it through. Get it in the thread. Tap it around. So you can get at least one on. Make it nice and loose. Work on the top. So it looks like the top is going to need some shaving of the hub. So, not a perfect fit. Obviously. So, if you can see, there's kind of this ridge on the hub that exists, and I think that needs to be filed down both on the top and the bottom in order for the bracket to fit up. And how I can tell that is because I could see the imprint of the line literally on both, on the inside there. So I'm going to do that. Okay, let's do this. Okay, just basically filed down the casting seams, and it seems like, no pun intended, these line up now. That's good. That one's on. I fit well. This one. a little high. Go back down. Oh, purchasing bracket worked, but needs some turning on the hub. Specifically, that casting seams. What? Yeah, just give me that one. Just do something. Okay. No, you're not going to talk over here. No. Okay, my torque on this now is 49 foot-pounds. Now I'll stick the rotor back on and it'll be good. Okay, just in the back. Now I'm going to take this and torque the caliper bolts to the torque solution bracket at 50 foot-pounds. Check that. I'll go to 45 to start. Alright guys, so I had an issue, and the issue was my torque solution bracket came with these type of bolts. They are an M10 1.5 pitch thread and 55 millimeters long. So the brackets, the torque solution brackets were supposed to come with 4 of these. It came with 3. They look identical. This one is the wrong one. It actually is a 1.25 pitch. So I realized that was probably why one of my calipers stripped, because I assumed all of them were the correct 1.5 mil. And this is the 1.25, so I had to go run out to the store and figure out an M10 1.5 pitch at 55 mil in length, and I got them. And this is a grade 12.9 bolt, so they are made specifically for going into brake calipers, high tensile, high stress from heat, and the washers that come with it. So not sure why I got that from my torque solution brackets, but overall pretty disappointed in the torque solution brackets and the hardware that came with it. So let's get these calipers finally on, and then I can show you guys exactly how I'm going to do the brake lines and how I'm going to bleed my entire system for the brake lines. Okay guys, just on the driver's side, I'm going to put these back on with the new Healy coils inside of them. Putting them on, how I tell always that you have the proper side of caliper. The bleed valves always face up. So with that being said, let's get these back on. torque. Stop one. Nice. So the Heelys are on and strong, and we got this one to work. Alright, now I'll go to the other side. Alright guys, just at the passenger side, finally about to put on my last caliper on the rear. What I like to use is some of this copper coat anti-seize. Stick a little bit of that on the threads of the bolt itself. So I'm not putting gobs on, I'm just putting a little tiny amount on. If you're wondering, I did already check the bolt in the caliper itself to make sure that it works and goes in properly, and it does. So now I'll insert it in the back. Okay, in. Last one. So trying to get a better angle here. This is what I'm dealing with. Insert it. Alright. So this upper one is pretty difficult to get on just because the H8 socket that I have to use is so long that it impedes with the strut on the top here anyways. Alright, forced torque spec made. Alright, just torquing this top one. Boom. If you notice, I actually went and I shortened my stud in order to get it tighter in there to get near the past the strut itself. So we're at our torque spec on both. Now it's time to do brake lines and then do the brake system bleed. So these are my Stop Tech Sport brake pads. Dusty. They're just my daily. I have the Carbotech XP10s as being my race performance brake pads. So I'm going to put these in. They just insert from the top. They do come with a squealer or a low brake pad life sensor. Not really a sensor, just a squealer. I always stick that on the inside. You just insert them like so, and then you take the metal clips or tangs that come with it, the retainer clips I should say, and mine want to disappear down, it seems like. So in order for this to work, I'll need to catch the first one push the clip under, push the front brake pad up while still trying to hold and catch, and we're good. So from here I'll just push the top retainer clip in while inserting the brake pad pin. So I've pushed it in and it is through, and I'm pushing still, and the outside pad is lining up. So its pin is pushing up a little bit. So I'll push it down and into the hole, and voila. Now you'll need to put these little cotter pins in to the steel retainer pins, and that will just keep those from obviously sliding out. So I like to use a set of needle nose pliers. So like I said, I use a little needle nose pliers, and depending on how the hole is, I'll grab it, rotate the pin until I can see the hole top dead center, and then I'll insert the pin, and the little jot outward goes to the back so that it's able to latch onto brake caliper material. Done. Awesome. Always just give a little extra taps to make sure that they're pushed all the way in and everything is retained properly. Alright, now we can do brake lines, and those are, the banjo bolts are 12mm, so we're going to transfer the line from the old WRX caliper onto the STI caliper. So I'm just back at the rear of the car. I have my 12mm socket ready to go for that banjo bolt. I have my torque wrench, and I'll be setting my torque wrench to about 12 foot-pounds for the banjo bolt, and I'll transfer it now. Okay, so I'll start by taking the banjo off of the existing brake caliper. You'll want to be a little careful with the brake fluid. It's not going to get on anything. You also want to take a clean cloth and just go through that. Take the banjo out of the line, so you'll have two of the copper washers, one on the top side and one on the bottom side. My other one fell in my brake fluid, which is fine. So air is going in the system now, so that's why we want to be quick and then also do a full flush, just to make sure that everything is out in terms of air. So I put electrical tape on the back of my caliper to cover the banjo hole. I have my copper washer on the top side and my copper washer against my caliper. Okay, that is going in. Now take a it's on, very loose, very hand-tight. Now I'll take my torque wrench, double check, set to 12 foot-pounds. Good. Double check that. Nice. Okay, I'll give it all a wipe down. Just make sure that I don't have any brake fluid or anything. After I'm bleeding, I will actually spray everything with that brake cleaner. I'll spray everything now with brake cleaner because some got on my CV boot. Okay, now I'll go to the other side, disconnect that line, and do the same thing. One thing I wanted to mention was my master cylinder brake fluid clap. My master fluid cylinder cap is still on and screwed on tight, and that I just don't want air to come from the other side into the system and lose even more brake fluid, or add more air to the system, I should say. Okay guys, we're on the passenger side. I'll back you up just a little bit. There. Now, same process. See, I just adjusted the brake line back a little so that it's not going to be obstructed or anywhere in contact with the shock itself. And I have nice soft lines between everything, so that's good. Now I'll torque the banjo in again to 12 foot-pounds. Okay. Just a light hit like that. Now we'll get into the flushing of the brake system.